Welcome. I know I'm a few minutes behind. I try and be on here at 2 o'clock, the first of every month to start these lives, but I don't know, I forgot. And then at quarter till I remembered. And so I ran in and put a little some makeup on so I wouldn't look completely bare on here. And then I forgot that I needed to pick the winner. I was doing that and couldn't get into my account. So had to find workarounds for that. And then the craziest thing, one of the people that, because I randomly choose from the list of 2,030 people. Hi, Evelyn. Welcome. Good to see you. I randomly choose from 2,030 people, and it ended up being a winner that we've had before. So that's one lucky girl. But in all fairness, I decided to choose another winner. Hi, Jewel. Hey, Runaway Camper. Good to see you. Nice to see you all here. And Della's here. You guys are good. I didn't put any reminders out this time. I didn't put nothing. So, hi, Sandra. Tiada's here too. Nice. Welcome, everyone. So, yeah, I just kind of, I remembered yesterday and the day before that my live was coming up. And hi, Tony and Stacy. And then today I got carried away chit-chatting with my sister on the phone. I have both my sisters right now are in Greece. One lives there. The other one's visiting her. And hey, Della. Hey, Sherry. Sandra, nice to see everybody here. You guys I'm so impressed. Wow. So I was chit-chatting with my sister today and then completely forgot about the live after that. So here I am, though. We made it a couple minutes late, but we are here, and I'm so glad to see you all. Miss Annette is here, too, over the water. She's in Canada. Canada, right, Annette? No, Annette's in England. I'm the worst with this stuff, you guys. I know a few of you are in Canada. I've got several in the U.S. and all over the place. So what's everybody doing? It's been a month since I've talked to you. I have put out 0 videos over the last month and over the month before that. And I don't even know over the month before that. So we will talk more about that. Oh, let's see. Oh, Della's in Canada. Okay. Yeah, I get myself all mixed up. I think Annette's in England, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, there we go. So I was right. Yeah, anyway, it's been a fun summer so far. I'm enjoying the warm weather so much. How are you guys? How's the weather where you are? What's it like? It's been pretty good, mild summer with a few hot days, but some of the beadwork I've done, and there's no way to, oh, you want to show me your beadwork? You know what? Send it to my email. So if any of you ever want to send me pictures of anything or send it to, let's see, midnightcrafters65@gmail.com. And then I can see your cool pictures of the projects you guys are working on. Maybe you'll inspire me. And from Guatemala. So my cousin, yesterday, my husband and I went to visit my cousins. And they're visiting right now. They were at the beach. And so they rent a beach house once a week. And so my one cousin has moved to Guatemala with her family for a couple of years. And they were visiting. So it was so nice to see them. And it's cool that you're in Guatemala and that's where they're from. And it popped up today. Sandra, you're doing rehab for knee replacement. I hear that can be a little bit challenging. So good luck to you on that. Triple digit heat, yikes, yeah. I like hot, but I don't necessarily like that hot. So my husband makes fun of me because he says I have a small comfort temperature window, and I think he might be right. And the older I'm getting, my comfort temperature window is closing in. Let's see. Oh my gosh, you guys have such great comments going, and I'm going to end up sitting here reading Liz, thinking about you and scrolling my phone, almost missed you. Well, I'm glad you didn't miss me. I'm glad you're here. And then what's the hot glue top trick, Stacy? Tell me more about that. Is that where you glue the other glue stick to the back of the other one? Oh, Yvonne, you're in Oregon. Yeah, we got to be careful. So a lot of drought going on this year, and we have not been able. We put our boat in the water once, and there's just no water. And even at that point, the water levels were at 55%. So water is really low, and we're having to go back to. I remember when I was a teenager, that whole thing. They said, if it's yellow, then it's mellow. If it's down, flush it down. If it's brown, flush it down. So we're having to do that a little bit. Not my favorite thing to do, but you got to do what you got to do to conserve water, right? So let's see. Okay, well, let's do the drawing. As usual, I like to get to that first so that those of you that are here for only the drawing can get your fill and figure out and find out who the winner is. And then after that, we'll hang out and chit chat for as long as you guys feel like it, or until I have to go to the bathroom or something. Sound good? Okay, let's see. Yeah, the drought, it's bad. It's bad this year everywhere. And thankfully we haven't had high winds. Why am I getting my phone? I was getting my phone like I was going to use that for the drawing. Thankfully, we have not had high winds, so that helps a lot with the drought fire situation. The fires that do happen are not as bad and out of control. So, all right, let's do the drawing, and then we will chit chat more about whatever you guys want. Last time I had so much fun chatting because it just was very low key, and everyone got into it and was talking to each other, and I love that. It's so much fun. So we'll do that again. So for right now, we have August winner this month is, wait, I do this every time, sorry. Okay, is, now I can't open it. Ready? I know you're ready, right? Magdalene Rivera. Yep, Magdalene Rivera. You win August's Bling Owl Keychain drawing. So Magdalene, if you will contact me at midnightcrafters65@gmail.com with your address and what color little owl you would like, I will get that sent out to you. So congratulations to Miss Magdalene. So cool. So let's see. Let me go back here and now read some comments. So it looks like you guys, a couple of you have already made friends in here. I see Della saying hi to Cynthia, which means they probably chatted last time, which is so cool. Stacy, you created a little top for a jar using hot glue. Oh, that trick. I love that trick too. Yeah. It's kind of a almost like a lacy feel, kind of really squirrely. Yeah, I love that. And it makes a great jar lid. If you guys haven't seen that, I don't know which video it's on the ones where I did, and it's a ways back, a video that I did with the mirror glass jars. I did a copy of one that I had gotten from as a gift or from the store, or I don't remember. And I made like the Dollar Tree version of it. Well, not completely Dollar Tree because I put an embellishment from somewhere else, but I made a lid for it from using hot glue, and it turned out really cool. I have to say, I was very impressed with myself on that one. So can you buy one of the key rings? You can. They're $12.95 plus whatever the shipping would be. And I have a feeling to England, it might be a tad expensive, but I'm not really sure what it is. So let's see. Oh, Cynthia, what type of business are you starting in Maryland? She says she just started her new business. So, and Cynthia is saying hi to Della, and this is just so cool. And last time we all got helping each other out, and it's so nice to have such a great sense of community. I feel like lately I have been focusing. So let's talk more about that. some real talk here on kind of what's been happening with me. And I've really been thinking whether this is something I wanted to even really put out there or not, like on my YouTube channel, because it could affect my channel. But, I figure at this point it's in God's hands. I'm going to kind of just go with the flow. So I have really been diving deep into my getting to know God better and my studies and reading the Bible and doing things like that. And I've been really trying to learn to listen better, because I always hear people saying, God told me this, or God said this to me. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Because I was not getting these little downloads that other people were getting. So I've started really kind of digging in deeper to see, how do I listen? How do I, if you guys are into that and you know what I'm talking about, if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. But I've learned to kind of try and really listen. And one thing that kept coming up from people that I was hearing over and over and over and over again is trimming the vine. So trimming the vine can be mean many different things, depending on what you're referring to. It could mean trimming the vine of, okay, so the idea of trimming the vine is that when you have, say, a tree or a vine or something that's growing fruit, sometimes we need to trim off some of the dead branches or some of them that aren't doing as well. And that then helps the rest of the plant to grow better and to produce more fruit. And then also at other times, even when something is producing a lot of fruit, sometimes seasonally we have to trim it back in order for it to continue to grow well. Well, so, and what's funny is, if any of you know Joyce Meyer, somebody I've been listening to, I just love her. She says, so what she's learned from that is you're pruned if you do and you're pruned if you don't. So, which I love that. So anyway, I've decided that one of the things that I was doing, and a lot of us tend to do, is that we take on so many different activities or businesses or things, and so many of them that we can't really do any of them well, and that nothing really then thrives at that point. So I kept getting the message from various places, trim the vine, and they were unrelated places. So I started really thinking about what that means. So trimming the vine, as I said, could have to do with trimming the vine of people who you are around, because maybe they are not as good for you as you think. Or maybe it could mean trimming out some of the activities you're doing so that you can focus more on the activities that are important. And so for me, as I started looking and really evaluating, and I heard someone say, we wear our busyness as a badge of honor, or how many businesses we're running, or how many things we're doing. And I think that that is something that I was really trying to do. So yeah, the purging process in a sense. So I was always like, so everyone said, oh my gosh, you're so busy, you're so busy. I'm like, yes, I'm so busy. I have a YouTube channel and I'm a hairdresser, and then I have a gift and jewelry business. And then I'm just trying to do life in general. And then it's like so much going on, right? Like that's going to make me, I don't know, any better of a person. It's not. So what I really started looking at and evaluating is what brings me joy right now. Because, on top of those things, I was also doing challenges, running 5-day challenges and things like that. So it was so much that I felt like nothing was really thriving. So what brings me joy the most is things like this, chatting with you guys on a live like this. And that what had started to really become a burden was my YouTube channel. So I found myself really stressing out, trying to come up with new ideas. That's the least of the problems, the least of the difficulties, but trying to keep up with the seasons, with what everyone else is doing, making sure that I have the right project, making sure it's something people are going to be interested in, getting it filmed, getting it edited, making sure I find the right keywords to go on. I started realizing that in all of that, the whole reason I started it was because I've loved to craft my whole life, but I was losing the desire to craft anymore because I felt like I couldn't just craft for me. I had to be recording it so that I could put out a video. And thank you. Yes, Cynthia, you're right. It was a message. So anyway, I started thinking, okay, I'm just going to take a break and lay low and not do any crafting and see when I feel really inspired to craft again and to put another video out. And all I saw was that how much more at peace I was not doing any of that stuff. That there are times when my husband and I go away to our cabin and, you know, I would have to haul my video equipment, my camera equipment, my tripods, the lighting, bring all the craft supplies for that project. And if I wanted to modify it in any way, I didn't have the supplies because they were here at home. So I couldn't even enjoy being away at our cabin. Or, you know, my husband would go and meet up with our friends over there at our cabin, and I was sitting at the cabin editing a video to make sure that I got it out on time. So I really debated, because I've heard other YouTubers say, don't say anything to your people, because what will happen is once they know that you're stopping, they'll just unsubscribe. So I was really in a little bit of turmoil with that. And so I didn't say anything for a long time and just thought, well, maybe I'll get my mojo back, right? Well, all I have found in the process is that I think that that may be something at this point that is going to just be, I don't know, on the back burner for how long, maybe indefinitely. But I figure I'm doing this more for fun and enjoyment. So if I put out a video once a year, if I put out a video once a month, whatever it ends up being, it's going to be because I was inspired to do it and because I love to and because I want to. So I hope you guys understand that. And there are tons of videos on my channel already that you can go back and watch if you're feeling like you need a fix of one of my videos. But for a while, there's probably not going to be anything new coming out. And I've toyed with the idea of doing some for Christmas because it is the kind of one of the most in-demand seasons for crafting. And so let me read some of the comments a little bit because I feel like I've been missing a lot. Hi, Miss Pam. Good to see you. I've been thinking about you and actually praying for you, my friend. So I just want you to know that. So, gosh, I've missed so many comments that I feel like I'm going to have to go back and read these later. But let's see. Yeah, Cynthia, I believe in signs from God. I never heard the term trimming the vine. It is so on point. It really is. And for me, having that visual, I guess I'm a super visual person. So having that visual of trimming the vine really impacted me. So I really, on its own, and I feel like everything happens for a reason, but I've wanted to retire from doing hair for a very long time, but it's pretty much my main source of income. YouTube is minuscule that comes in, and for the amount of stress and aggravation and time I was putting in, for the amount of money, totally wasn't worth it. This to me is the most worth it. And I get no money for this. And I love this. I love chatting with you guys. So my hair business, though, with COVID, I had several people that grew their hair out and decided to go gray. So they stopped coloring. I had two clients pass away. And I had two or more move away. And so it has kind of really dwindled from that standpoint too. So I feel like things are sort of coming together the way they're supposed to. Self-care, what is that? It's love. Yes, it is. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Cynthia. She says, you won't lose us as subscribers. You know, and again, as I said, I really kind of went back and forth on that. And I felt like it was the right thing to do to kind of like last time I was here, I didn't really say much about that. But I felt like as I thought about it more and more, it is the right thing to do. And in all honesty, I've been stuck at the same subscriber count for so long, even when I was pushing and trying. And I really started thinking that even if my I'm picking like the wrong words today for the wrong thing, subscriber count, even if it were to drop to half, at least I would know that it's the half that wants to be there. So I don't need to have big number of subscribers so that I can prove anything, or I don't know, for any reason other than to just say that I have that many, or to get brand deals or have people reach out to me. But that's not where my focus is these days. My focus has really been on my own personal growth. And as I've talked to you guys before, about like my challenges that I've been doing, my 5-day challenges, that's something too that I've really been debating on whether I want to continue or let go of. So I'm really in a searching place right now and looking for answers. And the challenges that I do are related. The last one that I did, like Pam has been on one of my challenges, and it was a crafting confidence challenge. So it's crafting confidence and crafting confidence. So it was kind of a double entendre there. My previous challenge, my last one that I did, was actually a healthy eating and emotional growth challenge. So, and that one was really fun, and I was really enjoyed it and was really inspired by it. So I may do one more of those. I have to see how it goes. And again, I've been sort of trying to listen for the answer on that and see what to do with that as well. So I guess just stay tuned to see what I end up doing, because I don't even know myself to give you that answer. So let's see what's happening here. It's awesome that you flip the light switch. We all fall into the trap of being busy, which leads to nowhere. And that is so true. And, you know, it's fine to be busy if you're super happy and if it's fruitful for you. But when you're doing it and you feel like it's not making you happy, and when you're not happy, no one around you is going to be happy either, because you're going to be putting out just a not pleasant vibe, right? So one of the biggest things I've learned lately, and I was talking to my sister about this, truly when you are happy on the inside and love yourself and own the way you look, own the way you feel, and work on feeling better and on loving yourself more and loving others more, your whole view of life changes. And hi, Natty. Let's see. So I was lucky enough to go. This was crazy. So I've been in this business mastermind group for a year, and it just closed out the end of July. And every week we had a couple of Zoom calls. So I was on constantly these Zoom calls with several hundred other people. Well, we decided, there was one gal in there that pulled together a Mexico trip and organized it for anybody that within that mastermind group that wanted to meet up. So it ended up being 4 of us women who went to Cancun for a week. And my husband was saying, oh boy, he's like, you're going to come back with stories I can tell already. So it's a risk, right? You go to with 4 virtually strangers, or, you know, getting together. And the funny thing, we decided we were going to share rooms, so 2 and 2. And so, you know, we decided, you know, queen bed in each room. It's hard enough, you know, sharing a room, right? Well, my roommate gets there. She was the first one to get there, and the hotel messed up. And so there were only king bed rooms available. So not only were sharing a room, but now I ended up having to share a king size bed with a stranger, you know, virtually a stranger. But I mean, we had known each other from online, a female, you know, no men involved in this scenario. But I was really, really pleased at the group of women. They are Christian women who are entrepreneurs in business. So we all were kind of in the same zone as far as that stuff goes. And it really was amazing and enlightening to me to realize that working on myself has been really working. And this shift that I'm feeling is making me less critical of myself, which then makes me less critical of others. And I started to feel like I'm a step closer to how, you see those super Zen people, those gurus or those yoginis, that they're like so mellow and they're just so happy and nothing bothers them, right? I feel like I'm a little step closer to that. So whatever the pieces are that are creating that, I don't know completely. I wish that I could take a magic wand and touch it to each one of you so that you could start feeling that. It's been a lot of work leading up to it, but boy, has that work been worth it, because the feeling is amazing. So let me read a little bit here again. Funny you would say that. She says, the best way I've ever found to get my answers is to go outside, put my feet in the dirt, and sit there in silence until the answers come to me. So it's really funny. Yesterday, when we went to the beach to visit my cousin, we were walking on the beach. Well, I had these. Oh, I wish I had them to show you guys. Well, so just, I don't know if you guys have seen these, but these are my super blinged out Birkenstock style shoes. Well, yesterday I had completely blinged out kind of tennis shoe style shoes on, like covered in bling, every little millimeter of them. And there was no way I was going to walk on the beach and get sand in my new blingy shoes. So I walked barefoot. And I was telling my husband, I said, you need to take your shoes off and walk barefoot, because we all need to be grounded. And he kind of rolled his eyes and thought that's another Elaine thing, but it's very true. So it's funny that you would say that about standing with putting your feet in the dirt, because there's something about everything is cemented now. We always wear shoes and we're just never without, or we're in our homes. We don't really like, I know it sounds so like hippie-ish, right? But we never really get grounded. We never really get like the energy of the earth and the energy of just, when you walk in a room, how you just feel the energy, if it's like good energy from people or if it's not. That's how, if you take the time to just be quiet and put your feet on the dirt or on the sand or on the grass, I don't know, it's like something, you sort of feel a little more connected. And I don't know. Is this like way out there for you guys? Is this like, am I completely sounding like a nut job? Which, not that it matters to me if I am, because that's all part of the process that I'm going through. But at the same time, I don't want everyone to be completely bored out of their minds with this conversation. So it's an amazing release. It is, Stacy. It really is. And if you guys haven't tried it, I recommend trying it. Just go out and put your feet on the grass or on the dirt or the sand. I can just sit and listen to you tell NJU. What does that mean? I'm not sure what that means. Bye, Brenda. I guess Brenda's off. I missed that part of the conversation, but so let's see. I've got to ask, you all might think it's stupid, but how do you love yourself? You know what? Not at all stupid. Not at all stupid, because I would always hear people saying, you need to love yourself, love others. And I'm like, okay, I love myself, right? What does that mean? Of course I love myself. I think that on the surface, a lot of times we feel like, yeah, I love myself. I'm happy with my life. My life is great and all that. But I realized that to love yourself means that you are okay with everything about yourself. You are okay with your little 11 wrinkles here. You are okay with the cellulite on your butt and your thighs. You are okay with the extra weight that you're carrying. You are okay with everything about you. You are okay with the sound of your voice. You are okay with the fact that you have health issues, right? So if you start, one of the things on this Mexico trip, I was telling the ladies, because no single one of us has the perfect, of the four of us on that trip had the perfect body. And we were out at this pool with a lot of people, a lot of women there who certainly did not have the perfect bodies, and some young women there who had these beautiful, amazing bodies. But I started to really think about that even the women out there with these perfect, in my eyes, amazing, beautiful bodies, I'm sure 100% if I were to ask them, they have insecurities and hangups about themselves. And so it makes me really think that we don't see them as much in others as we see them in ourselves. And if we keep picking at ourselves like a wound, right? You keep picking at it, picking at it, it's never going to heal. So we have to start telling ourselves, you know what? I love you, cellulite. I love you, big thighs. I love you, 11 wrinkles right here. And I love you, you little wrinkles here. I love you, right? And it sounds so ridiculous. You look in the mirror, you tell yourself that, and it feels really lame. I'm not going to lie. But slowly, very slowly, that will start to change because we talk so negatively to ourselves all the time. And Pam knows, I've talked about this, that if you take your little inner child, right, that we all have that little inner child, that if you take that inner child and they were next to you and you were holding their hand walking along and somebody came up to them and was telling them, oh my gosh, you're so fat. Look at that cellulite. Look at those wrinkles. What is wrong with your hair? You have the thinnest hair. Ugh, you're ugly. You know, if somebody was saying that to your child, you would probably tear their eyeballs out. We're mama bears, man. We would go at them, right? So why do we tolerate that for ourselves? So that love is what you need to try and cultivate for yourself. So let me read here because I know I kind of got off a little bit on a long tangent. Let's see. Oh my gosh, the comments are going kind of quick. So let's see. Yeah, learn to forgive yourself. And you know what? The big one for me with learning to forgive yourself, don't dwell on things you cannot change. It takes too much time. It takes too much of now. Okay, so one of the things that really helped me to forgive myself, because we all have that something or a few somethings that stick with us that we beat ourselves up about, was somebody, I don't know if it was a priest or who told me this or some sermon I was listening to, I don't remember, but years ago. And they said that if you can't forgive yourself, then God can't forgive you either. And I thought, oh boy, that's a problem, because obviously I know where I want to end up when I die. And if I can't forgive myself and God can't forgive me because I can't forgive me, that's just no bueno. So I just decided in that moment, I forgive myself for that. You know, we have all made mistakes in our lives, and there's nothing you can do to change those things. You know, you can apologize to the person that you did it to, and that's probably the best if that's the case, you know, that it is something like that. But the other thing is that lately I've really come across many times in the Bible where it just says, stop worrying. Worry is against God, right? If you worry, that means you don't trust God. And if you try and figure out what's going to happen tomorrow, and you're always worrying about tomorrow and what am I going to do tomorrow and what's going to happen and how am I going to do this, again, you're not trusting God. And that's not what it's all about, right? We say we trust God, but then we do what we want to do anyway and hope that it works out okay. But if you really stop worrying and just put your trust, you're going to find more happiness. And one thing that really helped me with is there was another business that came up along with all the 5 million other things that I'm always trying to do right before I started trimming the vine. And I really wanted to do it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is for sure. This is going to be a great one. This is the one. I just have that entrepreneurial mind where I'm always thinking this is going to be the next one. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to trust God on this one, and whatever he says, I'm going to listen. But then I'm like, well, how do I listen? I don't know. So I'm like, okay, God, I need like the super obvious, I should do this or I should not do this I need you to like sledgehammer upside the head if I should do this or not. So then I thought, okay, what I'm going to do is I decided I was going to pick a secret word that I wasn't going to tell to anybody because I didn't want anyone to influence, and say the word so that it would convince me or anything like that. But I decided if I hear the word pickle by Monday, I'm going to do this business. It has to be someone that says it, or I hear it in the distance, or I hear it on the radio or something, but I need to hear the word pickle and I'm going to do it. If I don't hear the word pickle, I'm not going to do it. Okay, that's that. I'm going to trust God. Well, what if pickle's too weird of a word? Maybe I should have picked a different word. What are the chances I might hear pickle? So there I went, backpedaling, right? Second guessing what I said I was going to do. And I thought, am I really trusting God? Then I'm like, well, but. Then the next morning after I slept, I woke up and I had this like light bulb moment that told me I have chosen to like think that so basically when you want to do something really bad or when you don't want to do something really bad and you ask God for a sign, right? Give me a sign. I think we always, many of us, I know for me, would always find the sign that gave me the answer that I wanted, right? Do you guys ever do that? So if you really want to do something, you're like, give me a sign. All of a sudden, all these signs become very apparent why you should be doing it. And if you don't want to do something, you find all these signs that are really obvious as to why you shouldn't do it. So I thought, okay, if I think about this and I end up finding the signs that make me do it, and it's my own, doing, in the long run, it's not going to work out because I wasn't supposed to do it, right? And then I'm going to have more discontent, more unhappiness, more frustration, more tears, more anxiety. So then I thought, so what is the point of me doing what I really just wanted to do because I wanted to do it when it's not what God wanted me to do? What is the point of that when it's going to bring all that misery, right? So that was my light bulb moment. So I said, nope. I'm going to fully wait for hearing the word pickle. I am. So, oh my gosh, the funniest, craziest thing then. I was shopping at Costco randomly and walking through the aisles, and never before in my life have I seen pickle hummus. Have you guys ever even heard of pickle hummus? At the end cap of the aisle, there's this huge display with pickle hummus. And let me just tell you, we have hummus almost, I would say 90% of the time we have hummus in our fridge because we are regular hummus eaters. Okay, we make our own, we bought it, but I've never seen pickle hummus. I just was like, really? Really? Okay, I didn't hear the word, but really, pickle hummus, really? So I thought, okay, God's got a sense of humor, there you go. And then I go away to our cabin and I'm at the little health food store and I see bagged pickles. I've never seen bagged pickles. Now all of a sudden pickles are jumping out at me everywhere. Well, I never heard the word pickle, but I saw it. But because I didn't hear it, and I think seeing it in pickle hummus and in other whatever bagged pickles, I think that God was testing me to see, is she going to snatch that up and say it was a sign, or is she going to, hold out for hearing the word pickle? Well, I held out and I never heard the word, and I didn't do that business that I wanted to do. And I don't know, maybe that business will come along at a later time, but I guess the time was not right now for it. So, I got to read some of these comments, you guys, because it got stuck at one point and I didn't see comments coming in. And so I missed all this stuff and I asked you questions and I didn't see any answers. Let's see. Yeah, so Della says, I really struggle with that, putting my full trust in the Lord. Seems like I always ask for forgiveness for that. Well, I hope my story helped you, because truly when you think about when we do our own thing and maybe it links up, maybe it is what God wants us to do and we lucked out that we picked the right one. But when we pick according to what we want, even if we didn't really know that we got the sign to do it, it just ends in unhappiness. So what's the point, right? The whole point is so that we can be happy and find joy, right? Not to find more misery. We're good about that on our own, right? And stop condemning ourselves. Yeah. He forgives and forgets, and we should too. I agree with you, Stacy. So let's see. Oh, Meninder's on here. I didn't even see that. I'm just seeing Della's commenting. Okay, let's see. So sorry, you guys. You guys get to see the comments too while you listen, but it's hard for me to talk and read. Let's see. So Meninder says, I don't worry about how I look, but I know I'm very positive and my heart is big to accept others. I like who I am. That's awesome. And I love that. And make sure that you really listen to your self-talk. So this stuff that I'm talking about now, for those of you that like it, this is the kind of stuff that I'm really finding joy in, and finding that I want to do my challenges on, because this stuff to me is so much more fulfilling than teaching more about how to glue $2 tree things together and make something. I feel like this more gets to the heart and the depth of helping people on a different level. And crafting by all means is necessary. I'm not dissing it in any way, because I love crafting and it is a good escape a lot of times for us. But what I want to focus on is what I'm personally trying to focus on myself is not needing to escape, not needing to have to find something to escape to. So let's see. I get it, Annette. I know not, she says, Annette says, I don't know how I feel about God. I always try to show I'm happy when I'm not. Don't like people to know how I'm feeling. So I think sometimes if we're trying to be happy when we're not, it just makes it harder on ourselves. And if we can work on finding a place within us where we truly are happy, so we don't have to fake it on the outside, because faking it is so hard. And for me, when I'm not paying attention and I'm faking it on the outside to be all cheery and happy, and you catch me in a resting moment when I'm not conscious of it, you'll see on my face my actual mood and feelings. And so I just am enjoying not having to fake it. It's so much easier that way. Sherry, you don't eat chickpeas, but you have 6 cans in your pantry. So why do you have them in your pantry if you don't eat them? Are you making hummus, or do you not eat hummus? Or hummus is such good stuff, and you can make it taste exactly like, flavor it different ways. Pray for his answer, and I listen for him. I listen, and then I feel in my heart the answers. So, and reading the scriptures, find the answers. So Mary, I really tried listening in my heart, but I think for me, because I really wanted something so bad, that's where I struggled, right? Listening, because I think, am I listening to him or am I listening to me? And I couldn't differentiate that. And somebody told me once, now, and that if you don't believe in God or you're not sure about God, it's okay. I'm not here to tell any of you what to believe. I personally, there is something that created all of this around us. So for me, it's God. For you, it might be something else. But just know there's so much more at work than just our little measly selves trying to navigate life. So, but I found that in what somebody mentioned to me as far as how to listen, they said when something keeps coming back to you, you heard different people multiple times say it, or you read it somewhere, or you then heard it somewhere, that a lot of times that's a sign. So for that example of trimming the vine, I heard it from Joyce Meyer. I was listening. If you guys have not, if you believe in God and you're interested in learning more, Joyce Meyer, I love her to pieces. She's kind of got just a really funny sense of humor, and she tells you how things relate in a daily life, and how to deal with stuff, or why not to gossip, or why not to swear. Not, instead of just saying, don't swear, it's not nice to take the Lord's name in vain, right? I'm like, okay. And then as I would do that constantly, but somehow her message gets more through to me. So if you don't know her or haven't listened to her, there's plenty of great YouTube videos. Joyce Meyer, check her out. Let's see. So, so I heard trimming the vine from her. I heard trimming the vine from the person I was thinking about taking the business thing from. I heard trimming the vine in my mastermind group that I was in. So that was 3 separate times that I heard it. And I thought, obviously, this is a message I'm needing to hear right now because it's coming at me from different directions. For me, that was God trying to tell me, yo, wake up. Could have had a V8, right? Could have just trimmed the vine, duh, right? And my husband's been telling me that for years, but who listens to their spouse, right? It's like kids listening to their parents. We just don't do it, or parents listening to their kids for that matter. So let's see, let me read a little more. Yeah. Stacy says, once you realize who real joy is, happiness comes easily. So let's see, such good stuff. I ask for the most important things, not just day to day. Yes, the answers will keep coming present. So the other thing that for me helped a lot is I was always worried, like, am I praying right? Am I asking for the right things? Is that too silly to ask for? Am I just, and then I heard other people say, don't constantly ask, give gratitude, be grateful. So then I would sit and give gratitude and then try and sprinkle in a little bit of my asks too. And then I thought, just stop overthinking it. And try and think about it like I'm talking to my father, my dad, right? I would talk to my dad about frivolous little things. I would ask him if there's something I wanted or needed. You would probably want your child to come and talk to you about whatever. So I started thinking, I need to stop overthinking how to pray and just talk, just have conversation. And the crazy thing too is that he knows every little thought you're gonna have, you have had, you know everything. So even when like my mind wanders, I get like squirrel brain in the middle of my prayers, and I'm off somewhere, and I'm like, oops, sorry. You know I have squirrel brain. I'm really trying hard, so help me focus and get back. So I'll go, and then I'll get squirrel brain again. I'm like, oops, sorry again. So I feel like if we can just think more like we're talking to someone that loves us and that we love, like a parent, right? Or like we would do for our kids. Yeah, Cynthia says, I just talk. That's what we need to do. That's what I need to do anyway. And that's what's been really helpful for me. So, gosh, you guys, who knew that today was going to turn into, like, I feel like I'm like channeling Joyce Meyer or something today, or Joel Osteen. I love Joel Osteen too. Joel Osteen is very just positive, and so I think the combination of the two of them are such a great combo to listen to. Joyce was on Joel's Sunday church thing a couple weeks ago. So how cool was that? I got both of them in one shot to listen to. And I don't know, I've just been enjoying the journey. So all of that circles back around to why I haven't been doing anything with YouTube. So preach, Elaine. I know. Sorry, you guys. I hope it's not coming across as preachy. I just am excited to share what has helped me. And that's kind of what I've always been about, whether it's been with crafting, with food, with how I did my dietary changes, with my health, with my spiritual journey. That's what I just am all about. And I'm learning that, and I knew that I've always enjoyed teaching, and I thought that it was really about me teaching crafting. But I'm learning that there's different platforms, and I don't know, everything seems to fall into place. And it seems to be really, I'm fascinated by the puzzle pieces that are coming together, because sometimes stuff happens, or things have happened for me that, or to me, seemingly to me. Everything supposedly happens for you, not to you. So think of that. That the things that have happened in the time, I don't understand them. And then later I look back and I'm like, oh, that makes so much more sense now. Sometimes I never get the answer as to why something happened, but watching things play out, it's pretty amazing. And it's really fun, actually. So, Della says, so your sharing today was meant to be. You will never know who you have helped opening up this subject with us. I hope so. And that may be true. Maybe it's helped someone that's been on this live with us today. Maybe it's going to be someone on the replay. maybe hearing it from me, though they've heard it a million times from somewhere else, might trigger something. I don't know. Maybe hearing it from me and then they're going to hear it again might trigger it for real for that time, you know? So I don't know. I'm kind of glad my husband's in the other room. He'd probably be like, oh boy, here she goes. She's talking in a tangent here. Let's see. So I've also talked to a lot of, oh, thank you, Stacy. So I've also talked to a lot of other YouTubers right now, and there's just some crazy stuff going on with the whole dynamic of YouTube. A lot of other crafting YouTubers have been really frustrated with pushing and trying to make an effort to keep things going. And a lot of our channels have just been stuck and stagnant. And this is from small channels from a couple thousand subscribers on up to channels that are in the 300,000 and 400,000 subscriber range. So it's kind of interesting. I'm not sure what that all means. A lot of them you may have heard if you're really into watching a lot of different crafters have talked about how they're feeling like the Dollar Tree niche is, or niche, depending on how you pronounce it, is really kind of maxed out at this point. So I'm not really sure where they're going to take it. I know a lot of them have kind of tried breaking off a little bit and doing things other than just Dollar Tree DIYs, because it's too easy to get boxed in to one type of thing and be stuck. And then, you know, I really wanted to hit 100,000 subscribers, because you get this silver play button thing. And some of you may have seen other YouTubers that get it, and it's a plaque. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I want that. It'll be so cool for all the effort I put in to have my little play button plaque up there. But it's come to be less important to me. Sure, would I still like to get it? Yes, but not at the expense of my relationship with my husband, or being able to visit with my friends, or being able to hang out and chat with you guys more, not at the expense of my stress level and, you know, my joy going to stress. No way, not worth it. So, yeah. So Della says she's seen at least 2 posts in the last week about their frustrations. YouTube is doing weird stuff. And yes, they are unsubscribing people. And you have to go back and check the people that you know you really enjoy watching. Go back in and check and make sure you're still subscribed to them, because there's something crazy going on right now with the people's channels being like stuck at a certain level of subscribers and losing subscribers. And I don't know what it is. But I've also realized that, you know, which some of you may know from being around with me for a while, technology, though I love it in some ways and it's so amazing and I'm so grateful for it, can also completely make me lose my mind. So I'm sure some of you can relate to that. When it's working, it's awesome. When it's not, oh. So learning about all the algorithms and watching all that stuff and search engine optimization, it's just not what I want to do. I want to just craft and teach and talk and have chats like this. And this is what really makes me happy. And I hope will make the most difference for my viewers, my friends, my subscribers, all whatever you want to, because I did have a sense of guilt about bailing out on you guys. Let's see. Oh, Sherry, I'm so sorry. Sherry says her father passed away Monday. Oh gosh, yeah. Oh, well, I hope that this is giving you something. I don't know. And I'm really sorry that you lost your dad. That's got to be really, really hard. Let's see. So thank you, Della. You're the best. That's so sweet. So sorry, you guys. I really hate missing comments, and you guys are so good with them too. And I love actually seeing what everyone is saying to each other. And so one thing really cool, it's something that has, so I've really been also asking for for God to put in front of me ways that I can serve people, right? So just as the day goes on, wherever I might be, whatever I might be doing, opportunities to serve people. Because when you serve others and you help others, it's impossible to keep thinking about your own issues, troubles, problems, frustrations, right? Because you're helping someone else. So not that I mean, I'm feeling really not frustrated, really great these days. But I had gone to a little store in Arnold, and I think I mentioned to you guys last time I met this really nice lady Linda, her store name is Linda's Loft. And I don't know if she has a website yet, but she's working on it. And when she does, I will, maybe by next month, I'll post a link for you guys. She does a lot of handcrafted stuff. We get chatting while I'm in her store. Well, it turns out she's one of my subscribers. So how small a world is that? But anyway, now I went in there a few days ago and we got chatting again. I ended up sitting in there for like an hour and a half. We're becoming buddies now. Now we text back and forth. But I was at the thrift store earlier and I happened to see that they had a bunch of, what do you call them? Fabric quarters, like quilters. Are they called quarter fats, or whatever? You guys know what I'm talking about. The little folded fabrics that quilters buy in different colors and they use. Anyway, I found I don't know, there must have been 120 of them at the thrift store, brand new in a basket, and they had them for 98 cents. Well, 98 cents, I think, is what you can buy them at Walmart for. And so I mentioned it to her because out in the mountains, it's not like you can just run to the nearest Walmart because there isn't one any nearby. So I said, you should go pick them up. She goes, well, I can't leave the store. Would you mind? And I said, not at all. So I ran back there. And while I was there, I asked the lady, I said, well, since we're going to get a lot of them, can you give me a better deal? She goes, and I was going to say like 59 cents maybe. She goes, sure. How about 40 cents each? I'm like, yes. So I grabbed all of the patterned ones and I took them back to Linda along with two other really cute little wooden wheelbarrow things that I found. And she was so happy and I was so happy. And I felt like I really did a good deed and I was able to serve her. And she is starting to put on classes. Starting in August, she's going to do little crafting classes. So what I was thinking maybe, and this could be a win-win, is that I would videotape her classes and what she's teaching, and then maybe post those on YouTube. And then you guys can still see what she's doing. She's super creative. She made some really cool stuff. The first class she's going to do is the fabric pumpkins. So some of you probably have already seen those, but she has her own little twist on them and they're really cute. So I might do that because that would be easier because that doesn't involve lighting and me and editing and all that stuff. I can just kind of, I'll need a little bit of editing, but I can just film her with my camera and talk a little bit while she's teaching. So let's back up here and see what's going on. Oh my gosh, you guys, we've been on here for an hour almost, like 1 minute shy of an hour. I can't believe it. So say, Stacy, yes, the numbers, the analytics, yeah, it's good that you're not concerned about the numbers because it can really take the fun out of having a YouTube channel, There's so many good things about having it. And one of the many good things is the fact that I get to have all of you here and that I've met so many amazing people. And one of these days, I really would love to do a meetup somewhere. So if we could find a place that's sort of central for a lot of people that could travel to it or something, that would just be so cool. It would be like my little mastermind group and meeting with those women that I saw, that I met with in Mexico. So I feel like there's so many of you that I've known forever through here, and it would be really fun to get to, meet up with you for real. So thank you, Annette, for being on here. I know it's probably getting really late for you. So thank you for being with us and joining us. And do you guys have any questions or any comments or anything you want to tell me? Because I don't want to just keep going on and on and on forever if we're not really I don't know if there's nothing more that I have to say. I always got lots to say, but if you guys have any questions, fat quarters, that's what they are. Thank you, Della. Yeah, I knew they're something quarters, fat something, but yeah, fat quarters. Okay. So let's see. All right, I know there's a bit of a delay, so if there's anything you guys want to talk about or want me to bring up or any crafting questions or ideas or anything like that, just because I'm not putting out videos doesn't mean I'm not happy to share ideas. Are you guys doing fall crafts yet? That's something I want to know, because that's the other thing I really struggle with, and I say it even on my videos. I really struggle with being in the middle of summer and enjoying summer and having to start do Christmas in July. That just, for me, I can't wrap my brain around that. Also, all the fall stuff, not ready for that. So that's another thing. If you have a YouTube channel, you can't have that attitude, because by the time I'm ready to do those things, they're like long gone and into the next season. So, oh gosh, it's 11 o'clock. Go get some rest, Annette. It's important for your well-being. So make sure you go and get enough rest. How are the family feeling about your journey? So when I first started, it was a very interesting mix. When I started really reading the Bible and sitting, I started with Pam knows, she was in my challenge. So I started with a gratitude journal, and that was way back. But then my biggest shift came when I started with, in January, with something called the 31-Day Wisdom Challenge, which was the 31 chapters or books. See, I'm not a professional at this, of Proverbs, and it was one a day for 31 days. And that really started me having that hunger to understand more. And so I started to read my Bible, and then I have these little daily devotionals that I read. And you know who else reads the exact same one as me? In fact, that's where I got it. Why I got it is Rebecca from Style My Sweets. I don't know why that just eluded me momentarily. But she's awesome. So she told me about that little devotional book, and it's a daily devotional. So I started doing that, and then I started looking up the what you call it, the scripture that was used to write that particular devotional. I started looking it up to try and understand how they took it. Well, initially, my husband would come in, and he's never seen me do that. We've just celebrated our 26th anniversary on the 30th, so the day before yesterday. And so he's never seen me do that. So he was kind of like, oh, okay, is she on another tangent? Like, what is she up to? And so he said, I would quote things at certain times and whatever. And he says, well, just don't sit there and try and convince me, because you're not going to convince me of anything. He believes in God, and we grew up Orthodox, and he grew up actually living in Jerusalem. Literally, you could throw a rock at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, not that you would, from his house. So he grew up in a very religious place. But we grew up with a different kind of religion and spirituality. And so this seems very out of the box for what we're used to, and it seems a little strange to him. So now, though, he's totally used to it. And when we were driving the other day, it was really funny. On the back of someone's car, it had JN 316. And he goes, what is JN 316? I said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that for whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. And he goes, what? He says, I'm shocked. How did you know that? And I said, okay. He goes, you got to just keep reading and keep doing what you're doing. I said, all right, I got to fess up. That's the only one I know. And I learned it when I was a kid, and it just happened to hit lucky, but we kind of laughed about that afterwards. He was like all impressed. I could have kept my mouth shut. He would have just thought I was a genius. I tell you. My sister, who lives in Greece, is also her husband's aunt was a nun in the monastery in Greece. So they are also very religious, and it's very much Greek Orthodox. And when I told her that I'm kind of on a new journey where I'm looking more at my relationship with God rather than being in church every Sunday, she said to me, if you're, what did she tell me? I don't remember her exact words. She says, if it's anything to do against church, I don't want to hear it. So that's kind of the reaction initially that started. Instead of getting upset with anybody with their reactions to me or thinking that I'm weird, or then my kids said, oh, are you going to become a Bible thumper, a Jesus freak? Instead of getting upset with that, I just thought, the best way that I can make a difference at this point is just to let them see the change in me and lead by example, right? Because anybody can talk the talk, but unless you walk the walk, and we can all talk the talk and walk the walk in front of people we only see a little bit of the time, but your family that's around you all the time and can push buttons like nobody else can, if you can talk the talk and walk the walk with that and around them, that's when they start to notice, and that's when it makes the biggest difference. So let me look back at here again. That answered that question to Della. I would like to share, I made the picture you have at your back with nail paints. I made it and gifted it. So this one here, yay. How did it come out, Maninder? I would love to see pictures. So email me pictures, or unless you already have, I can't remember. No, I don't think a few people have sent me pictures. That's awesome. I bet they loved it. So thank you, Ida. Oh gosh, what is IKR? I'm so bad with acronyms. I don't know what IKR is. I can't even think. So, yeah. So anyway, I feel, another thing, like my eating habits. So when I was in Mexico, one of the women they saw that through, all the women, we would have breakfast, lunch, and dinner pretty much all together every day for 7 days. And they saw that I didn't really veer off of my eating habits. And they were really surprised and waiting, not that people are waiting for you to fail, but people just naturally think that, well, you're on vacation. Surely you're going to, try something else, or surely you're going to step out and you're going to splurge a little bit. But I didn't. And I didn't want to. I didn't need to. I was so happy with the food I had. Well, the one messaged me the other day and said that I really inspired her with my eating habits, and that she was really going to make an effort to try and change her eating habits. So again, it's leading by example. And I wasn't necessarily trying to prove anything or do anything, but just, just be you be you. And that's about loving yourself. And if you realize that you being you can influence so many other people in so many positive ways, but you have to really love who you are and enjoy the way you are. If you are feeling kind of grumpy and miserable on the inside, that's not really something that you're going to be able to have as much influence with helping people by leading by example, because it's only surface, and you can only hide that for so long. And that was another big message from my Mexico trip, that after 5 days, or after 3 days, one of the gals was having a struggle with trying to fit the box. And by day 5, there was a little bit of some friction that happened. And we all realized that you can only fake it for so long, right? And then the real you comes out. So you may as well let the real you out from the get-go, and make sure you work on that real you to be a good person and a loving, kind person. And then it's okay if that real you comes out. So yes, please, Maninder, I would love to see the pictures. So let's see. I know, right? Okay. All right. I would have never gotten that. IKR, I know, right? Feel abandoned by the Lord. He will never abandon you. And this is the thing that I can't believe you said that. That was today's reading in my daily devotional. So, and there were 3 different 2 or 3 different scriptures that say about that, how never, ever, ever, that you are engraved in his hands, right? So he will never, even when, so think of things not happening to you. Think of them happening for you. Even the bad stuff that seems to happen. We don't have a way of knowing what that bad thing is going to lead to. And some things are worse than others, and some things we struggle with a lot. But if we can kind of hang in there and know that he will never abandon us, that we may down the road learn why that happened, and we may never learn, but we may see new doors open up. So don't give up on that. Don't ever think he's given up on you, because look, we're all here for you too. There's so many good things. If you can start looking at all the good things around, strengthen that muscle to see the good things around you. And sometimes it's really flipping hard. But if you keep working and keep working and keep working, you'll get to the point where you do. In Mexico, there was, I was dying to go to the beach. Anybody that knows I love going to the beach. Well, I go all the way to Mexico, to Cancun. I'm excited about the beach and ended up spending the whole time at the pool because there, season-wise, there was seaweed. I kid you not, a 5-foot-high wall of seaweed running the whole length of the beach, and it was probably a good 6 feet deep. So it was like a mound, long running mound of seaweed, and it smelled bad because it's just sitting there. It smelled very fishy, and it's humid in Mexico. And the craziest thing, the couple other people just were complaining, oh, the seaweed, it's ugly, it smells, it's bad, we can't go to the beach. It didn't bother me. It wasn't even like I had to try and make it not bother me. It didn't bother me. I smelled the smell, thought it kind of smells fishy. We'll get over it. On the one day, I actually went and sat down on one of the lounge chairs under an umbrella on the beach with that big pile of seaweed mountain in front of me. And I looked past it at the water, and somehow I was so sitting there in gratitude thinking, how is this happening right now? How is it that I'm not having to try and be grateful for the beautiful water and the beach and the cabana chair things and the chairs and the umbrellas? I didn't even have to try and be grateful, and I didn't have to try and overlook the seaweed. It just happened. So as you can strengthen that muscle of gratitude, it just happens, and it's so cool. And I loved it. So I want that for everybody. Let's see. I'll never abandon you. Get in a quiet place and block out all the noise. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys, I have to save something to talk about next time too, because who knows where this journey will lead me by the next time. So, and also probably I should go do something with the rest of my day that's left. Oh, one more crazy story. Sorry, I have to. So we were riding our motorcycles the other day, my husband and I, on our anniversary. We each have separate motorcycles, and mine's a big bike. And we were talking because we have the little walkie-talkie things in our or the microphones in our helmets. So we were talking, and as we were chatting and stuff, I was telling him, he was telling me how to, when you take the turns, do this, or when you do that, and I said, well, I actually do this. And as I was sitting there trying to describe it to him, we come up on a big turn. I go to take the turn, and I don't know what happened, but I went straight for the ditch, and I somehow managed, while I was in this ditch, to make the turn, go straight, and stay up and get back on the road. Honest to God, I don't know how that happened. The first thing that amazed me, I asked him afterwards if I said a cuss word, because normally that would be the first thing out of somebody's mouth or out of my mouth by accident, just like automatic when you're going for like you're going down, right? To say a cuss word. I didn't. He says, you did not swear. I was so shocked. The other thing is that as squirrely as that was, and as scary as it was, my heart rate went up, like every hair on my legs and my arms stood up. I really felt like somebody was holding me straight up and directing me back on the road. So when you think you've been abandoned, you're not. Like, that was so, I can't even describe. Like my motorcycle stayed up and I got back on the road and I didn't totally freak out. And I don't know how that happened because there's no reason that I should have stayed up. I should have been down. So I will leave it at that. So let's see. Let me read these last comments and then I'm going to sign off for today. You know, we can imagine beach at home. It's grounding exercise. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Thank you, Evelyn, for the anniversary wishes. Oh, thank you, Kula. That makes me feel good. I hope that somebody needed to hear my words today. So thank you, Stacy. Thank you for being here. And I really appreciate all of you for being here. Thanks, Della. Yeah. So I so appreciate all of you. And this was great. And it's always great. And it's getting greater for me every month that we talk. And I feel like it's coming straight from the heart. Gonna make me cry now. I'll see you guys next month. I love you all. Okay, get myself together. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. I love you all.